Hello everyone. Today we're going to give an experiment which explains that metals are good conductors of heat. Here you see how we have set up the experiment. You see here this is an screwdriver made up of this one is made up of iron, and we know that iron is a metal. Not only that, you can see here that there are various pins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 pins attached to it with wax. You can see here we have attached all these pins with wax. Now I will explain about what is conduction first. Conduction generally takes place in solids, or you can say in metals generally. Now you see what is the definition of conduction. Now, what is the definition of conduction? Conduction is the process by which heat energy is transmitted through collisions between neighboring atoms or molecules. Conduction occurs more readily in solids, where the particles are closer together than in gases, where particles are farther apart. We know that in solids, the intermolecular force of attraction is more than that of liquids and gases. Now, I already told you that conduction generally takes place in solids. Now, I will hit this rod and see what happens. We'll explain why this happens. First, we'll observe what is going to happen in this experiment. In this experiment, we'll prove that metals are good conductors of heat. You see here, this is the setup. This is the rod, and in this rod there are 8 pins attached to it with wax. And if we hit this rod, let us see what happens. Let us see. Now see here that we are heating this rod with flame and observe what happens to this experiment. You see there are pins attached to this rod at a certain distance. Let's see what happens. This is pin number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. There are 8 pins attached to this rod and we are hitting this rod at one end and we will see what happens to this experiment. I already told you that in conduction, the heat energy is transmitted through collisions between neighboring atoms or molecules. Now let's see what happens in this experiment. We are hitting the rod at one end and let's see what you see. The first pin falls down. That means heat is transferring from this area to this region, right? That is hot temperature to cold temperature, right? That means heat is transferring to the nearest molecule here. That's why the first pin falls down. And this energy is transferring from here to here through the molecules. That is, one molecule is transferring the heat to the next molecule and the next molecule is transferring the heat to the next molecule and the next energy is transferring the heat to the next molecule and you see that first pin falls down. Now observe whether the second pin falls down or not. Let us see. As you can see, the second pin falls down because heat is transferring from one molecule to the next molecule in case of conduction, and this is a process of conduction, right? You see, the first pin falls. After that, the second pin falls, and you observe the third pin, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth pin. There are 8 pins, and you observe what happens in this experiment. Now see, in this case, by conduction heat is transferring from this end to that of other end, right? And heat, we know that it is transferred by the process of conduction because heat transferred through the process of conduction in solids and in metals also. You see, the heat is transferring from one molecule to the next molecule and the next molecule is transferring energy to the next molecule. In this way it goes on, and that's why you see that the first pin falls down and the second pin falls after that, and we will observe the third pin. You see here, the third pin is fall down after a certain period of time. After being few seconds, yes, the third pin, right? The first, second, and third pin falls down. That means that heat is transferring to the neighboring molecules or atoms, and the neighboring molecules is transferring heat to that of the neighboring molecules. And in this way, first, second, third pins falls down. That is, heat is transferring in this rod or in this metal by the process of conduction. Then observe the fourth pin. Now see, first, second, third pin falls down and we are waiting for the fourth pin. And this is the process of conduction, and in this experiment we prove that metals are good conductors of heat, right? That is our purpose, that metals are good conductors of heat, and in the heat energy is transferring from one molecule to the next molecule, and that's why the first pin falls first, then the second pin falls, then the third pin falls, and we are observing the fourth pin. Yes, you see that this pin falls down. It most probably this pin doesn't fall because more and more wax has been attached to this pin. That's why this pin falls down first. But actually, if we put an equal amount of wax in all these pin, then it falls in sequence. First, second, third, and this is the fourth pin. It will fall first. After that is this one, and this one. Let's see what happens. As you see, now the fourth pin will fall down because heat is transferring from one molecule to the next molecule, and heat is transferred in the process by the process of collision between the molecules. Now you can see that this pin will fall down in a few seconds. That means in sequence all the pins are falling down. The first one, second one, third one, and this is the fourth pin. Because this is a process of conduction, and in conduction heat energy is transferred from one molecule to the next molecule, and the next molecule is transferring energy to the next molecule, and the next molecule is transferring energy to the next molecule. And in this experiment we proved that metals are good conductors of heat. See here, the fourth pin falls down. That means all the pins are falling down in sequence, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, in this way, right? And this is the process of conduction. You see here, and next observe this pin. This pin will will fall first, then this one, and this one will observe. Let us observe this one. This is what we call it as conduction, and conduction takes place generally in solids, right? You see, you can see this conduction, and I already defined this. What is conduction? Conduction is the process by which heat energy is transmitted through collisions between neighboring atoms or molecules. Conduction occurs generally in solids, and you see here we have taken the iron rod, and that is a solid, not only solid, that is a metal also. From this experiment, you observe that metals are good conductors of heat, and that is one of the property of metal. You see, in this experiment we prove that in conduction heat is transmitted from one molecule to the next molecule, and you see the conduction takes place generally in solids, and one by one pin, all the pin is falling. The first pin falls first, and the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh. Let us observe the fifth pin. It will take time because it is transferring slowly from this end to that end. That's why it is taking time. Dear friends, if you like this video, please subscribe, like and share. Thank you everybody for watching this video. And also press the notification bell such that you may get the uploaded videos immediately whenever we upload our videos. And we upload all the videos of science and mathematics, right? And if you want to be a member of our channel, you know that we have 3 membership channel. One membership plan we have silver membership, one is gold membership, and the third one is diamond membership. If you be a member of our channel, you can make videos, such type of videos where you will get amazing videos, and if you make such type of amazing videos, then your videos will be viral within few days and your channel will be monetized. So be our members. In this way, one pin falls after another, and this is the process of conduction, right? And you know that in process of conduction, heat energy is transferred from one molecule to the next molecule by the process of transferring heat from one molecule to the next molecule. You see, the heat energy is transferred from one molecule to the next molecule, and this molecule transferred the heat energy to the next molecule, and this way the heat is transferring from one end to that of the other. But in case of liquids and in case of gases, there is another method in which I will tell you in the next video. How heat energy is transferred in the liquid, I will tell you in the next video. Now you see, heat energy is transferred from this end to that of the other end of this rod, and this rod is made up of iron, and iron is a metal, and we can conclude that metals are good conductors of heat. You see, we are hitting this rod with this flame, and heat is transferring energy from one end to that of the other by the process of conduction. You see, observe this pin. This pin is going to fall within few seconds. In this experiment, we prove that metals are good conductors of heat. And this is a very simple experiment, and we have explained what is conduction. Now you can see that what is conduction? Conduction is the process by which heat energy is transmitted through collisions between neighboring atoms or molecules. Conduction generally takes place in solids, or we can say it in metals, right? Conduction generally takes place in metals, right? You see, this is a rod and this is made up of iron, and that's why heat is transferring from this part to that of the other part. In this way, the pins are falling down one by one, right? Dear friends, if you like this video, please subscribe, like and share. Thank you everybody for watching this video. You can see that this pin will fall down, but it takes time to transfer the heat from this position to that position. It will take some time. In this way, conduction takes place in any experiment, right? That is, conduction is a process in which heat energy is transferred from one molecule to the next molecule, and conduction generally takes place in solids. And here you have taken a solid, that is iron, and you know that iron is a metal, and from this experiment we conclude that metals are good conductors of heat. You see, it is transferring from this end to that of the other end. Now we have explained what is conduction, how conduction, in conduction energy is transmitted by the process of collision between the molecules, and one molecule is transferring the energy to the neighboring molecules, and the neighboring molecule is transferring the next neighboring molecules. In this way, heat is transferred in case of solids. And you see, this is a metal, this is iron rod, and it is a metal, and we conclude from this experiment that metals are good conductors of heat. It is taking more time because it needs energy to transfer from this position to this position. After that, if this will fall down, it will take some time to fall this pin, because heat is transferring from this position to that position. It is a long distance, that's why it is taking much more time. And from this experiment we conclude that metals are good conductors of heat. Dear friends, if you like this video, please subscribe, like and share, and be our channel members so that you may get some perks and benefits. And if you are a creator of YouTube, then you may make such type of videos such that your videos may be viral within few days and your channel will be monetized. You see that this pin will fall after some time within few seconds, and in this way the right, you see, this pin falls down, right, and next this pin will fall down and the last one will fall down at the last place at last. In this way, all the pins are falling down one by one. Now you see this pin will fall down within few seconds. Here you see that heat is transferring energy by the process of conduction in solids. And here you see this is a rod of iron, and iron is a metal. In this experiment we proved that metals are good conductors of heat. In the same process, it is transferring energy from this part to that of the other. It takes some time. You see this one, and this is the last pin. You can see here it will fall down after some time because heat is transferring from one molecule to the next molecule in conduction. And in this, conduction generally takes place in solids. And here it is a rod of iron, and you know that iron is a metal. In this experiment, we proved that metals are good conductors of heat. You see here the last pin falls down in this way. This is the last pin, and you can see here if the rod heated by conduction, the pin will fall down after a few seconds. You see this is falling down. Ready? 1, 2, and this pin is falling down. You see here. Ready? 1, 2, and in this way, in this experiment is proved that metals are good conductors of heat, right? Dear friends, if you like this video, please subscribe, like and share. Thank you everybody for watching this video. You see, the last pin will fall after few intervals of seconds. It is taking too much time because it is a little bit, we have taken a little bit more wax to fix this pin. That's why it is taking much more to melt the pin, and after that it will fall down. In this way, you see, in this experiment we explain that what is conduction and how conduction takes place, and we prove that conduction is the process of heat transfer from one particle to the next particle. Dear friends, if you like this video, please subscribe, like and share. Thank you everybody for watching this video. Thank you once again.